Hello, everybody. It's Haley Bowler-Cooke, your host of Uplift Lifestyle Podcast. And I'm so excited to be sitting here with my sister, Jenna Rose.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And hello, everyone on YouTube. So this has been years in the making. It is truly like full circle. For anyone who doesn't know, if you go back and listen to the very first episodes of Uplift Lifestyle Podcast, it's my sister and I, it's Jenna and I, and we are bringing you all the wellness, all the self-development tips. And this is very full circle because it's been like 5, 6 years now, maybe 6, maybe more like 7. And
Yeah.
we meet here again on the podcast. And the reason I've invited you back to the show is because you're fucking crushing it in the music world right now.
Thank you, Hales.
So I'm really excited for our audience to get in on this conversation behind the scenes, to know what it's like to be in the mind of an artist, of a creator, of a singer-songwriter, of someone who for a decade plus has devoted their life to creativity, to creations. I'm just so amazed by you, and I'm really excited to dive in.
Well, thank you so much, Hales. I'm so happy to be here and talking to you and your community, because I feel like being an artist is very similar to being an entrepreneur. And it's a solo journey a lot of the time. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive in with you. And you've been a coach to me over, well, our whole life really, but the past few years for sure, you've been like such a big support to me. So I'm really excited to kind of talk about all of that.
Me too. So let's start from the beginning. Can you give us a little bit, and the audience, a bit of a backstory? Obviously, I know we're literal blood sisters. Like, I'm not just saying, oh, we're sisters, like soul sisters. It's like we are, and like we're like we share the same mom and dad. Like we are literal sisters. Genetic sisters. Like before you were Jenna Rose, you're Jenna Bowler-Cooke, and I'm Haley Bowler-Cooke.
Yes.
So can you give our audience a little bit of a little journey? Like take them on a journey of how your life brought you to where you are as an artist, as a creator.
Yeah, sure. I guess like even since I was a kid, I was always pretty creative. Just always every day I felt like I wanted to make something. It's kind of like a day doesn't go by that if I don't make something, I'm like, something's missing.
There's like an itch.
Yeah, it's just an itch that just never has went away. But my path has kind of went in different directions over the years. Like I used to be more in the wellness world too.
Mm-hmm.
As Haley mentioned, we started Uplift Lifestyle together. But I used to be a yoga teacher and a massage therapist and all that kind of stuff. And then I guess after that, I started getting into film and writing my own series and then acting in it. So I just sort of started focusing, and growing up too in high school and stuff, I was still like a painter and doing all that. And when I first moved to Toronto, I was painting a lot, and doing more acting and stuff. But yeah, then I moved into writing sort of, I guess organically. I just started writing poetry, and I published a book, Crashing Waves.
Crashing Waves was a best-selling poetry book, and you've got an audiobook, right? Audiobook, and then the physical. Yeah, it's beautiful. Sorry, I just wanted to let the audience know.
Yeah, so I wrote Crashing Waves. Actually, just before that, I think I started teaching myself guitar, like right when kind of COVID time started.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I like
me, you, and Mitch on the couch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all sort of started learning together.
Some of us stuck with it, others did not.
But yeah, so I did that book because I had like a little vision of the cover of it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this, because I pretty much my whole life have just followed whatever the next step feels like, whatever that impulse is. It always feels like divinely sent kind of thing, and I'm lucky enough to have been able to listen to that and be free enough to do that, and always supported by like mom and dad have always been like, you guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've like followed that, and anyways, I wrote that book, and then I started to write more songs, and that kind of felt like the next natural step, and was so fun because the poetry helped me like get through a more serious like ups and downs. Like I was going through more depression and stuff at that point in my life, and it really helped me to like excavate a lot of that and helped free me.
Mm.
And then writing the music was like a little bit lighter of a process in a way. I still wrote about like heartbreak and all that kind of emotional stuff, but it was just even like rhyming. It's like a little more fun or something.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
little
know.
lighter.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
music, it's just I've always loved music, but we didn't really like learn too much music growing up. But that just adds like a whole other level of expression.
Yeah.
So I love being able to like combine the lyric writing, which is probably my favorite part of the songwriting
Mm.
process, and then combining it with like music that just like lifts the whole thing up even further.
Oh my
So yeah, so
gosh.
that's been my main focus, like doing
Yeah.
music for the last couple of years. I'm still an actor, still do painting,
Hmm.
um, and writing. I just wrote a kid's book
Oh my
last
gosh.
last
So
winter.
good. Where has my heart gone?
Yeah,
It's a
so
children's book. It's a little heartbreaker,
yeah,
but
it's
also a
an
heart
adventure.
opener. It's a heart,
Yeah,
like, it cracks you open of just like,
yeah.
you're just so, like, your ability to feel the emotion, embody it, and then integrate it, and then express it is so rare. Like, your ability to just wear your heart on your sleeve, but in this poetic way that people go, oh my gosh, me too. I feel that too. You did it with Crashing Waves. You've done it again with Where Has My Heart Gone? And you've been doing it with every single song that you've released.
Thank
Like, it's
you.
people feel seen, people feel recognized, people feel heard. And I know for me, like when I'm listening to your music, I'm not thinking this is my sister and this is her personal story. I'm thinking this song was wrote for me. Like when I'm listening to Slipped, when I'm listening to Boots, when I'm listening to Still Thinking About You, I'm just like, this is like, it adds up to my life. And I know that everyone listening hears that. So how do you, let's not get into the process so much, but just on the emotional side, like where do these emotions like lock in your body, and then when is it time for you to be like, okay, I'm going to put this in a song, or I'm going to write this down on, like, do you write it down like in your phone, do you write it down on like a piece of paper, like what is that flow of inspiration like? I feel like so many people are curious.
It's honestly kind of different each time in a way, but there are some similarities. Like a lot of times if I try to take either my phone or like if I don't want to take my phone, a notepad, because the few
Mm,
times I don't, if I get an idea, I'm like, I have to remember the line over and over. And like,
yeah.
it kind of sucks because you want to be able to let that flow and like be
Yeah.
able to write it down and have it kind of
Mm,
locked into your memory. So yeah, I always have something handy that I can write down lyrics
mm-hmm,
or ideas when they come to me. Um, and sometimes it'll be like you're listening to another song and that'll spark a feeling in you, and that feeling gives you other words for it. And
mm,
but yeah, that's totally what it is. It's like it is channeling in a way. So
mm-hmm,
you're just getting the best is to just get out of your head and
mm-hmm,
then get like clear and just in the feeling, and whatever the truth of that feeling is comes through.
mm,
And as much, and sometimes if I try to get, if I'm getting too like in my head or whatever and trying to make it right, I just take off all the pressure. And I did this with painting too. It's like get rid of any pressure of needing to make a good painting
mm,
and just like do whatever. So
mm,
when it with painting, and then for writing, I just go let go of any pressure and just write as if this was a journal, what like all my thoughts. And then from that you'll find these little golden nuggets that you're like, oh, like that is such a cool way to
mm.
phrase that feeling, because
Yeah.
they're all universal feelings. I think like we're all
Yeah.
human, we all feel very similar feelings, even though it feels so personal. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like that combination of finding the personal in it and then the universal,
Yeah.
and that's what I love in songs. So that's kind of what I try to
Yeah.
do too.
It's so true. Like we are all one, we are all connected. There is no separation, and my audience knows this. But yet, when you're listening to that lyric, that song, that bridge, like the chorus, whatever it is of the song that you just fucking love, you feel like it was just for you. Like it does feel
Mm-hmm.
so personal. It does feel so intimate. It feels like it was literally for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for sharing that process with us. So you had mentioned you with your art, you have this practice of like getting out of your head and just letting it all flow, getting in that flow state. So for anyone who doesn't also know, Jenna, you moved to Toronto 10 plus years ago, was it? Or how long ago?
I think it was only maybe like eight,
8 years
7 or 8.
ago?
Yeah,
Okay, 7 or 8 years ago.
lost track.
And over those years, Jenna has done a ton of art shows where her art, like visual art, paintings, are exhibited in different restaurants, in different galleries. And you've been extremely successful. And it really has been like one of the main ways that you make money over these years, selling your art. And I just want to celebrate and honor you for that, because I feel like that's a rare thing. And you're just like, yeah, that's just one thing I do, like, or like one thing I did, or one thing I do. And I know you still have a show, you have a show right now. Like there's always art for sale, but it's just incredible that that's one of the many skills you have. And as your little sister, as your younger sister, like I've always looked to you as like the most talented person I know. Like I just like, she's so talented. Like that word, like talent, talent, talent. It's like, that's you. And then now, just before we even started recording, she comes over and she's like, I'm working on this new song. Like all these new songs are channeling through you right now. And you're just like, you're like, I'll just play it for you. And I was like, okay, yeah, like we'll like do our makeup and you can play it. And you're like, no, like I'll just play it on the guitar. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can fucking play the guitar just like that. Like it's it's just who you are. It's just what you do. But these are skills that people hone and craft their entire life, and you just kind of pick it up. And I know there's a lot of hard work involved. Like, let's not kid ourselves, but you're just wildly talented. And I think what we're hearing as we're listening to you speak is a lot of that is like this flow state. A lot of it is really just channeling and letting it come through.
Yeah, a lot of it is like first listening to whatever the inspiration is. So whether like even just career direction, following
Mm,
that and being like, okay, well, this is what I'm called to now. Yes, I was dedicating to this for so long, but like with art, I still like doing it, but it doesn't really like challenge me in the same way.
yeah.
Because that's why I've changed kind of like my path so many times. I
Mm,
do like to kind of learn something new and then be challenged by that and be able to like conquer it in a way or
mm.
something, like not that I've like conquered these things,
But you have,
but I feel like it's like
period.
I need to like challenge myself to be like, okay, I can do this. Like literally growing up, I always thought I wasn't a good singer. Like my dad's not gonna like me saying this, but he famously said when I was little, you can do a lot of things, Jenna, but singing's not one of them.
Oh, it's gonna sting.
But like I always honestly was very self-conscious of my
Yeah.
voice, literally up even to like a month ago. It's just been, I still, would have self-doubt and
Yeah.
be like shrinking my voice and stuff. And
Mm,
it's been like such a amazing journey and like challenging.
yeah.
But I'm so excited about now. Like I've started doing live performances now, which is also new for me.
So good.
And yeah, it's just like, I don't know, listening to that calling and
Yeah.
then putting in, yeah, the work to do it. Like everything that
Hmm.
I do like train for it, take lessons, whatever, to try to become
Hmm.
good at it.
You did the art school, you've done the acting lessons, you've learned, you've gone done the singing lessons, performance lessons, like you're doing the work, you're putting in the hours. But there's a big piece that a lot of people miss, which is like just doing it. And like I was
Yeah.
celebrating you so big when you just were like, yeah, I'm now doing these live shows. Like I'm up on stage, I've got a band, I'm going like, and then seeing you up there, like I remember when you first sent me the video of you first up on stage, it was like, this is where you fucking belong. Like you are literally an icon made for the fucking stage. Like it's just, it's empowering to see you. And I hope everyone listening is hearing like, oh, she changed her mind. She changed her
Yeah.
story. She rewrote her story. Like you're really living as the main character, and you're deciding it's my moment to do art. Now it's my moment to move to the city. Now it's my moment to get a cottage. Like you also have your cottage that you rent out. It's my moment now to start doing singing songwriting. It's my moment to make a film. It's my moment to act in the film. It's my moment to work as set deck. It's my moment to be an actress. Like you just go. And I know that behind the scenes there's a very intense amount of like mindset work that is required to be willing to take the leap, especially like go from being relatively new to singing, songwriting, playing the guitar, to being like, I'm willing to go up on stage in Toronto, in like one of the biggest cities for music, and just be seen like that. So what's like going on in your mind on a daily basis?
Okay,
Oh, do
well,
we want to know?
okay, well, one thing I wanted to just point out that you said, which I think is so important and for the listeners, um, because a lot of times we can let perfectionism stop us, and I used to be so bad for that, like, my
Yeah.
whole life, up until I went to, like, art therapy school, and it was all about the process, not about the final product, and
Mm,
that just made me go, "Okay, I don't need to be so precious with these materials or make
mm,
something really pretty, it's about making the thing,"
mhm,
and that was honestly such a pivotal time in my
mm.
life of making me go, okay, just get the things done. So even when I wrote like one poem and I'm like, I'm gonna write a book.
Yeah.
It's like
Fuck yeah.
I like to have now. I just go, I want to have a finished product that I can
Yeah,
share with the world. There's so much unfinished stuff I have too, but
totally.
I've been able to now be like, okay, I'm gonna get this done. It doesn't matter. I don't need to be the best, but I need to make this. This is what
Mm.
I feel called to do, and that's been just a huge pivotal thing of like, okay, I'm gonna take it as far as I can take it, whatever the thing is.
And that is the difference between the creators who share their expressions with the world and the lives that you get to impact by, instead of going down the perfectionist route, deciding I'm doing this. So many people who have read your poetry book, so many people who are listening to your songs and messaging you and being like, this literally spoke to me.
Hmm.
That impact wouldn't be possible if you stayed in that in between and you just decided it's not ready yet, it's not
Yeah,
done. Like I totally,
100%.
as an author myself, like I understand that urge, the creative urge. It's like this like itch, like every day you have to channel and get it out, but also like that next level of like completion,
Mm.
completing it and not, and I think that, and you and I've had many behind the scenes conversations around this, like there's completing a project for external validation and then there's completing a project for your own internal fulfillment. And I feel like that's just like the artist, the entrepreneur's ongoing battle and journey of like, who am I doing this for and why am I doing this?
Hmm.
So can
Yeah,
you
for
share with
sure.
us a little bit about your why? Like why the singing songwriting right now? Like tell us why. We love that.
Well, honest, I love that question because I feel like we all struggle with that of wanting other people's validation and wanting success and wanting all these things that are outside of us. And that's something I try to recenter to all the time of like,
Yeah.
I feel this call in me, so like, why do I need to do it? And with the singing songwriting, what I found is a lot of my art was very like a lonely process in a way.
Mm,
I paint by myself, write by myself, like all
mm.
that. And I just kind of, in a way, I was like, when I, like my biggest social interactions, which is so sad, but is like walking down the street and like saying hi to people and waving to people like each
And
day
she's
kind of
like a
thing.
30-year-old gorgeous young woman living in Toronto. Like, yeah, that is
Yeah,
that
and
is
I
sad.
just and in a way, I was just like, I feel like my light is kind of not getting used to its fullest
Mm,
potential. Like I have I have all this creativity to share, but I also just want to share me, like my
yeah,
light. And when I walk down the street, literally, I like to just
you
smile
shine
and
light.
like light people's day up and stuff, which can be like a little more rare sometimes in the city. People
Yes.
are sometimes more nervous or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm just like, oh, I was just hiding my light a little bit as far as
Mm,
like being more out there.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so with like performing live now and stuff, I just feel so much more like I'm where I'm meant to be and getting to
Mm,
share my energy with people, share my creativity. Um, and yeah, that's kind of when I've questioned myself recently. Like, I guess it changes as you grow and stuff, but recently I'm like, my purpose is, or my why is just, I want to share more of my light and light other people up then
yeah.
too, like let the kind of inspire them for their light, and it's just like a mirror
Mm,
reflection. When I'm sharing that, then other people reflect that back and they feel that too. So
mm.
that's kind of my main why, to share
It's
my energy, I
I
guess.
fucking love it. And I love seeing you in this era that you're in right now. And I get like front row tickets to your life and like backstage passes as well. And it's those like in real life too, because you're in the singing song era, but just also in like daily phone chats, voice notes, checking in, supporting, being supported by you, supporting you, like being a team, like sisters and besties. Like
Mhm.
I really see you in this era right now where you are shining and blooming and you're like literally and figuratively on stage. Like people are seeing you. And I think a lot of people listening are maybe hearing your story and seeing parts of themselves in it, of like the lonely journey of entrepreneurship, of business ownership, of being a leader, of being a healer, of being a creative. And I think just you bravely taking a moment to be like, and I know we've talked a lot about this over the last 6 months, why am I doing this? When you're able to actually refine, like, I'm doing this because I want to, like, what fulfills me is sharing my light with the world and really shining and letting other people see that shine. It then starts to feel really fulfilling. And then
Mm-hmm.
you start to get like that, like that kick in your step, and you're like, okay, like we're onto something here. It's happening. And I think that a lot of people are going to resonate with that, because creators often feel this compulsion to create. Like it is just who you are. You're born this way. You can't fight it. But if you create all these things and change all these lives externally through your art, but you feel like you're just almost like a slave to the compulsion or a slave to the process, and you're not sharing it the way that a musician gets to share it and a singer-songwriter gets to share it, being live, performing live on stage. I know you've been doing a lot more interviews lately too. You had an incredible interview in the country magazine that's gone so well, and you've done some newspapers, and now you're here on the podcast. Like you're out in the world in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited. I love this era for you. So
Thank you. And I just want to say, because I feel like, yeah, it's like highlight reel moment right now saying all these things, but like behind the scenes, Haley knows this because one, she's my sister, but also you've been just a huge coach to me through this. And we're both have a lot of similarities, but we're both quite different in ways, and just our energy is different. And for me, like working on my mindset has been the most pivotal thing, I think, for my growth, and then for
mm,
being able to actually produce and share with the world, which I think is like the best thing that I have to offer as an artist, is like to actually
mm,
share it and not just keep it kind of in my
mm,
own life. But that doing that isn't really possible without all the work on yourself, I think.
mm-hmm.
And you've been just such a help for me of like also keeping me, you're an entrepreneur and a leader, and just it's nice to be able to mastermind with each other and just, keep each other kind of on our paths and
Yeah.
like determined, because it's not always easy. Like it's really hard to
Yeah.
do it in this life, and like when the world kind of sometimes a lot of other people's paths are quite different, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes easy to just feel low on energy, or like have self-doubt and questioning, why am I doing this? And
Mm.
sometimes you are pushing too hard and you lose sight of just enjoying your life.
Yeah.
And that's something we've both been focusing on a lot
Yeah.
lately, of actually like enjoying this and not being so goal driven,
Mm-hmm.
like actually just enjoying the creating right now, or like living right now.
Yeah. So would you say that your mindset right now is like really just being in the creative flow, in the fun? Like what's your current mindset right now? Like where has it been? What is it now? I feel like the audience would love to hear.
I think before I was a lot more like, I need to do this so that I can get to this next step. It was
Mm.
always like looking ahead. Okay, if
Yeah.
I do this, then I'll get here. Everything was kind of just to get to the next step, even though I
Mm.
probably couldn't even define what that next place
Yeah.
was. It was just this like chasing kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I need. And now I've just been kind of focusing more on like creating something that I'm so excited about at that time, being
Mm.
the excitement of it. And then in my normal life outside of creating art, just finding more enjoyment
Mm.
and fun, just like silly, good, old fashioned
Yeah.
fun, like not needing to be like we are doing. I have like my first Diet Coke this week, just stuff
Yeah.
that's like, oh, I used to be like, oh, I'm not gonna drink whatever, like
Yeah.
something like that with chemicals. It's like, whatever, like
Pressure's
just
off.
take it, getting rid of just like thinking of things as like good or bad or whatever, and
Mm.
just like being more open to life in
I love
general.
that.
And yeah, this has been the recently I just started doing live shows for the first time because I was producing everything just at home alone, basically.
Yeah.
Or like working with people through online. So now doing live shows has gotten like challenged me again.
Totally.
Like before my first show, or my first open mic, I called my sister,
Me,
Haley, and was just like, I'm having a freaking breakdown. Like, this is an edge.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. Like, I'm freaking terrified. But I think I'm like gonna go up on stage tonight for the first time. And I was just like terrified. And then I got there and everyone was so adorable and cute and
so kind.
I was still terrified. I freaking dropped
Totally.
my phone in the piano. I was like just such a mess.
Yeah,
But
an absolute mess.
Yeah, it was like what the hell. But I'm so proud of myself that I did it because I was terrified. And just doing that, I was on such a high after of like, whoa, I'm proud of myself. Like I did another thing that scared me, and now that doesn't seem scary. Like I still get nervous when I'm going up, but it's like I'm excited more. You've done it. Yeah. And I'm so it made me go, I'm excited to get better. I can see now like how I can get even better and just like have more, and by that I guess it's like have more fun. Like I realized once I'm more comfortable up there, it's gonna be so fun. Like it was already fun and cute, but like it's gonna feel so good to get to like just really be in the zone. Oh my God. In that with other people and impacting other people with my song or with my energy. And yeah, so like it's been recently I've had some big expanding moments. Huge expanders. Yeah, it's felt really good. And yeah, I'm working on new songs and I have so many half finished songs. I'm like, okay, I want to, like we were saying, just share them, like not keep everything stored up because there's always gonna be more and more inspiration. So I just want to get these songs out there. We want them. Yeah. I'm always messaging Jenna. I'm like, okay, we're ready for your next song. We're ready. We want it. We're ready. I remember when you called me that day and I was like deep in my luteal phase and I was like not in my like, unfuckwithable badass hype girl energy. I was more just like, I gave you the best I could for what I had energetically, but I was like, Jenna, you know who the fuck you are. I will be pissed at you if you don't go on stage. Like the only energy I had was to like shame you into not going on. But I'm glad I did because I remember the videos you sent after, the voice notes, the messages. I watched it. I literally, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, you're a fucking star. And like I've known that forever. Every song you put out, the next one's even better. The next one's even better. The first one you put out, I was like, this is the best song I've ever heard. The next one's even better. The next one's even better. Like you just keep getting better. You're obsessed with getting better. And I think the magic sauce you have right now is like, you're obsessed with having fun while doing it. And like, that's what I realized too. Like after the first open mic, I was like, this is gonna be a long fucking journey if I'm not having fun. Like, oh my God. I can only do this if it's fun. Because otherwise, like, what's the point? It would be so much time and energy and growth. And one thing I want to say too is like, anyone who's listening to this knows how amazing Haley is at lifting you up and getting you in your lane. Because the amount of times I've called you to be like, oh my God, just low, like, what am I doing? And just questioning myself, doubting myself or whatever, just feeling like stopping. You always have helped me recenter and get back on. And like, that was like, I just needed to touch down with you to be like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, I'm scared. I just like, she got me crying. You don't have to say, you don't have to say that much, but it's like your energy. It's just like, plugging in. Yeah, you're plugged in, you plugged me in. And like, that's been such a gift. I don't know if I think it's common with a lot of artists, but it's probably common with just a lot of people and creative entrepreneur people, is that like, it's such an internal journey and a long journey. So there's going to be times where you're not, in the flow of things or whatever. And that's why I'm also just so grateful because I feel like you've been doing this for a long time of like doing it. Like you've been doing it. You know what I mean? Thank you. I go through phases where it's like, okay, now I'm doing this, but like there's ebbs and flows. And right now it's like, okay. Yeah, it's a good feeling. I know what Haley feels like. I feel like on my purpose, like, on your, yes, you're in your purpose. Yeah, when you're not, I realize like, oh, totally. When there's things that you're not doing that like you could be doing. And right now I'm like, okay, this is good. Like I'm doing the things, I'm so pumped for you.
I feel super excited selfishly of like what's coming because I'm like, I'm ready for that like front row backstage access, literally. I want to say one thing. Well, it's gonna be a long thing, but like you, when you call me to plug in and you just need that like coaching and that uplifting, like that reminder, it's to me, it's not like it just, I don't know how to put words to this. I literally believe it's more than belief that I have in you. Like it's more than belief. It's literally like this is the only path. This is the way. This is the path. I know this. Like, and because we're genetically connected, like I feel you so much. Like I feel your purpose and I'm sure you feel mine. And like if you don't keep going, if you don't do it, it would feel like something was dying in me. Like I know
Yeah.
this sounds really
No, I
dramatic,
know what you're
but
saying.
that's how I feel. Like when you're calling and you're low, and I want everyone to hear like there are low days and there have been not so many anymore, but like when you feel like you're just doing it and doing it and doing it and you're not seeing what you want to be seeing, it's exhausting.
Hmm.
And I've been there and I get that fully. And I know everyone listening gets it on some level. But when you call me in those moments, like it's so easy to just be like, Jenna, like I know that this is working out.
And that's what's like incredible of you, because I feel like you do that with every single client, everyone who enters your world. That's why people like love working
Well,
with you, because you see the highest version.
I only see the highest
Yeah.
version. I literally only see the highest version.
And I'm
And
grateful for that, because the amount of times I don't fucking see it in myself, and I'm
the
like,
invoice is coming. The invoice.
well, like the amount of times where you have, and like mom and dad too,
Yeah,
like we're
let's
so
shout out
lucky.
mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like we were fucking like
Yeah, like the amount of times
we
I've
were
counted on
raised
you
with
guys
it.
to remind me of who I am. Like maybe not everyone has that, but I hope everyone listening does have someone who can kind of be a little
Let
rock
me be
there.
that
Yeah,
person.
true. Yeah, hey,
Listen to the
like
podcast. You're not alone. Like mom and
sometimes you
dad,
need that.
you
Like,
need it. We were
yeah.
raised, and my audience knows this, and they hear it a million times, but maybe they can hear it through your words. Like we were raised empowered and uplifted, and no one's perfect. Mom and
And we
dad,
still got issues.
we still got fucking issues. Like like we were raised and uplifted of you can be, do, have anything, and
Hmm.
our parents have. I don't want to use the word sacrifice because I feel like that's like such a dramatic word, but like they have supported so much so that we feel safe to live our path and live our purpose.
Hmm.
Can you riff a little bit about that? Because my audience hears it all the time, like how important having that crew is. And
Hmm.
maybe it's not your mom and dad. I have a lot of my clients, it's not their mom and dad. It's not their sister. It's like that we're so fucking
Which is
fortunate.
amazing about that's work you do, is being that for a
I
lot of
get to be
people.
that for them.
And maybe they have other people too, but
I hope so.
I think it is so important. And there's a difference too, I think, between like seeking external validation and then having people who are in your corner. Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
so
period. Yeah.
it's so helpful to just have people who see you when you don't see yourself
Mm,
in that highest way. And yeah, we've had like a lot of times I'll call mom too if I like,
yeah.
I mean,
Shout out, mom.
yeah. And dad, they're a unit, but it's like it's a freaking it's a tough journey. I feel like it's different for everyone, but to actually follow your heart and your path and your soul, like you are faced with like so much every day. That's how I feel. It's like every day
So
if
much.
something comes up in me, I want to be able to like clear it. I want to
Yeah.
get myself back to the clearest state I can be, so I can be as connected to my divine purpose.
Mm. Like like yes, you're a singer-songwriter. Yes, you're sharing your music with the world. By the way, I realized we haven't even mentioned it yet. We're gonna plug the song in here. Jenna's new song, There You Are, is so fun. It's like, you know, Shania Twain's like, Let's Go Girls. That's how that song is. That's what that is like the modern version of this song. It is that.
Aw.
It's like putting it on, like I can't tell you before an event, before a girls' night, before a date night, like, and if I just need a little, speaking of uplift, like I may do this through for you through coaching. I put on that song and I'm just like, let's
Yeah,
fucking go.
it's
Like
so fun.
it's so fun. It's
Yeah.
so fucking fun. But you're singing songwriting, you're doing this, you're sharing this with the world. But your connection to your spirit, your connection to your own self study, your own self-awareness, your self-development. Like, I hope everyone listening recognizes there is no separation between, like, this is your self-actualization to share your
Mm-hmm.
gifts with the world. This is
Mm-hmm.
your part of your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, it's an itch that needs to be scratched. So what's coming from, like, where are we going to see Jenna Rose next? Like, what's the next? You're working on some new music.
Yeah.
You're mastering the live performances. Ooh, let's tell them about the show coming up in Stratford.
Yeah, we got
I'll make sure this
for
drops
the
before then.
local Stratford people. We're gonna have a show at Starlight, which I love. It's
Oh,
such a
it's
cute
so
bar.
cute.
They're so nice. So on May 10th,
May
having a
10th,
show there
2025.
with a friend of mine who's also a talented musician. Um, and
Come say
then
hi.
yep, come by. But hopefully some more other shows planned soon. I think we're gonna do
Mhm.
a show at the retreat and then
Yes.
also Toronto one for the Toronto people.
Yes.
But yeah, mostly right now it's yeah, learning the craft of in-person performances,
Yeah.
which is quite a different experience than recording and producing at home alone. So yeah, working on that, but also continue to make some new songs. I have so many that are just in the barrel that are ready to come out.
They're
So
so ready.
yeah, that's my main focus. I'm still an actor and still do a bit of that, but
Mm.
music is kind of my main focus right
You're
now.
really
So
dialed.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about before we wrap up, I want everyone to go listen to There You Were by Jenna Rose, and I'll link it everywhere. Um, what was the inspiration behind that? Because I know we now know, well, I've always known, but everyone knows now the inspiration comes through you, but there are like these personal experiences that influence. There You Were is a little more like upbeat country. Where did that song come from? Like, where did
Mhm.
that inspiration? Was there a moment? Was there like a person? Like, are we naming names today? Just kidding. We won't do
A
that
legend of a
for all the
petals.
exes that are watching.
um, yeah, well, I was in a relationship like 2 years ago that was honestly inspired a lot of songs, and I had a lot of kind of more heartbreaky type of songs from
Achy breaky
achy
heart,
breaky, hopeless romantic.
which
So
were so beautiful though, and
yeah,
so
and
right.
some of those songs I haven't even put out, so they're gonna be coming out still. But honestly, I had written so much from that place, and I wrote this song "There You Were" in January,
Hmm.
and I was trying to figure out, was it this song or was it the feeling that came first? I don't know, but honestly, this January I started feeling like, all right, I need
Mm,
to like stop repeating this story, because in a way I was still like getting stuck in the past, getting looped back into old
mm,
feelings. Like that was like up until this point the biggest love in my life. So I kept on kind of going back to that.
mm,
And like I still love the person, like we're friends, it's all good, but like I realized I can't keep on holding on to like this
mm.
same kind of
Feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
story and feeling, and like I just need to open myself up a little more to like something new.
Yeah.
And pretty much all my songs are based on like real experiences, and
Yeah.
this song, it's like I've had experiences like this, but like this exact sort of painting of this picture, I feel like in that moment of writing was a little bit more like, you know what, let's like write a new story. Because
Ooh.
I heard this guitar riff from this Nashville producer, and that's kind of where I just heard in my head "There You Were," and then I
Mm,
pictured it was like a movie. I saw like being at a bar and like you look up and like your ex-lover like comes in the door and you're
mm.
like, oh no, like I'm back
I'm pulling it
in your
up.
closet again, like
Yeah.
I can't get rid of you, whatever. That's
Yeah.
kind of the story that um just like flooded to my brain.
Mm,
And I was like, man, I've like written so much of that story. And I
mm,
was like, you know what? What if it was something new? Like,
mm.
what if there was someone new in the doorway
Oh,
that
I
I
have
didn't,
chills. Yeah.
I was just like, I want to like create this new story for myself. And that's sort of where I am in life too. So
Hmm.
it's just like, you know what? I'm open and ready for whatever the universe has for me. And that song was kind of that of like, I'm done telling the same story to myself and in my
Mm.
songs. I'll probably still write some like heartbreak
Yeah, for
songs.
sure.
It'll come up. But like at that moment, I was like, you know what? Let's change this up. And yeah, that's kind of where it came from of this. And that's where I want to be, is just in a free, fun state right now
Oh,
in my life.
yes.
And that's what this song really is about, of just being open to like the universe surprising you, having fun, like having the best fun, you know, like
Yeah.
beautiful people in your world, fun people. Like it doesn't need to be so like serious. So yeah, that's kind of like the vibe of the song, sort of like manifesting something in a way.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'll link it too, but we'll put a little bit in. I can just feel my energy rising.
Here we go again. Friday rolls around. Pour a drink, pour a shot, get all dolled up and let my hair down. Just a night with the girls, that's what I said. Just 1 or 2 drinks and you walk in. Call it fate, call it karma, call it heaven sent. So help me Jesus, I'm about to sin.
All right, if you want the rest,
Yeah,
you gotta go stream that on Spotify, baby. Spotify, Apple Music.
Yep, it's all those places. Jenna Rose, there you were.
I love it.
Yeah, it's such a fun.
We'll link it everywhere.
Such a fun song.
We'll link it everywhere. I'll link your Instagram, because I know you're not always on Instagram, but when you are, it's like, oh my gosh, you're like, every time, if I ever am like, oh yeah, have you met my sister? Have you heard of my sister? Look at her Instagram. She's so cool. Like, I just feel like it's like, go look at her Instagram and you're going to understand. Like, it's a whole vibe. So we'll tag that. Is there any last words you have for our audience? Anything that would feel good for you to just share and shine on them before we say goodbye?
Well, firstly, thank you, Haley, for having me here with you and your amazing audience. I love being part of your events and your life and what you've created. I guess I hope that today kind of helped people just get excited about if there's anything that they're wanting to share or probably already starting to share, and just giving that reminder of like, yeah, do it. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it. But like, seriously, that's another thing I've been really learning lately, is like, this is a playground. We're all connected, we're all one, and there's actually nothing to be afraid of. We are literally all of each other. We're here for each other. And that's something that's been helpful too for me, is like looking at, you know, going out on stage, looking out and seeing like, these are my people, these are my friends. I don't know them, but like, I love them. And just, yeah, just like getting rid of any fear of the outside world. Like, we're all one. So I just want to kind of say that reminder, I guess, to people of like, you're connected to everyone. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're safe in this world to be you and to share your light. So yeah, I hope it's a little reminder of that.
Hallelujah. Amen. Mic motherfucking drop. Wow. Oh, the audience can maybe see my boobs. Nope, we're good. I love you. Thank you, Uplifters, for being here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Stay connected. Let us know how you enjoyed this episode. We love hearing from you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you, Haley, for having me.
There you were, like a country song.